on GoSuffolkRams.com. From Boston, Massachusetts, welcome to Suffolk Sounds, the official show for Suffolk University Athletics.
Welcome back to another episode of Suffolk Sounds. I'm your new host, Nick Perenick, and you can find me on social media at nperenick39. As always, we will provide you with the fan access that you never thought you'd get to. We'll be doing it by having conversations with the people that matter to you. We'll get perspectives from those that have close ties to the Suffolk Athletic Department. You're going to get it all here. Today's episode features our first ever student athlete guest, Mr. Richie Gilbride, a senior shortstop and pitcher for the Suffolk baseball team. The business management major and I sat down and we'll dive into his playing career, his very viral summer up at Sebago Lake, and we'll gain insight on some of his favorite places around the city of Boston as he and the Rams prepare for their upcoming season. That interview starts now. So thanks, Rich, for joining me today. It's great to have you on the podcast and great to have our first student athlete on the podcast. I'm sure you've been keeping up with all the other episodes with all the coaches and everything, but great to have our first student athlete on. How does it feel?
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm excited. I'm glad we get to do this, and we'll dive into my life.
You're looking at your senior season now coming up. Must be a crazy thing to look at from your journey all the way from, your upbringing in Beverly, Mass to being able to play at Suffolk University in Boston. You had a kind of a crazy journey going first to Division I Siena College of the MAC. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. It was it was good. I mean, I've been playing baseball my whole life, so to have that opportunity was pretty special. I really did enjoy it. It was just wasn't really the school for me. It was kind of a little too far away, not a whole lot to do. The baseball was great. I mean, I did love every second of the baseball. We got to play some great teams, but just at the end of the day, it wasn't for me. And making the switch here was honestly one of the best things that I've done so far.
So what made you bring that switch? What was the appeal with Suffolk University and the baseball team that brought you from Siena to Suffolk?
So my cousin graduated Suffolk, played on the baseball team, I think 2 years before I got here. And so he's kind of the one that turned me on to this school. And when I originally started to think about transferring, I was like almost done playing baseball. I was like considering not playing. I was just going to come to Suffolk and be a student. And long story short, I called Coach Dell like 2 weeks before tryouts in the fall. I was like, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot. Like, I'll play. I love the game. And then the rest is kind of history there. But in terms of being in the city and like why I picked Suffolk, that has a big part. You know what I mean? I love the atmosphere that I'm around.
Yeah, definitely. It's a much different campus feel being in the city. You got everything right at your fingertips, so I'm sure that was a huge appeal to you.
It really is. It's just everything is so much more fun for me. I mean, 2 seconds away from the blue line, right into the city. It's just there's so much more to do, so much more activity. The baseball is great. My roommates are great. Team's great. So I get no complaints.
Awesome. Looking at last season now with everything that happened with COVID, looking at that schedule, you guys were getting deep into that schedule. You played all 10 games down in Florida, and then when you came up, you were supposed to play, I believe, at MIT, and that game's canceled and the rest of the season canceled. So what's it been like now, all these months without baseball? You're approaching a year without baseball.
Yeah, it happened so fast. Like you said, we went down to Florida. We had a great 10 games. And next thing you know, we get up here and it's just everything is all over. And once we got up here, it was we all left to go home. COVID really started to get going, and I think the whole team, honestly, we didn't do much of baseball the entire summer. We did as much as we could individually.
Now you joined a new conference, the CCC, this year. What are the expectations looking like, and what does it mean to you to join a new conference, and what is that looking like for your team and your teammates? Does the goal remain the same?
Yeah, it always does. I mean, coming out of the GNAC, we're always one of the top teams. I mean, there were a couple teams that were really, really good, but we won it a few times, and that's always the goal moving forward. The CCC is a very, very competitive conference, so what we are gonna end up trying to do is carry that tradition on of winning the conference and going to a regional. That's what we would like to do. Endicott, a few other teams, Salve. They're good teams. So it's definitely not going to be a walk in the park. And it's going to take some hard work, especially not going to Florida and having that preseason kind of thing. It looking like we're just kind of jump right into it come March. So hopefully we're ready to go, and can win the conference. That's the goal. It always will be the goal.
So let me touch on something different now, a little bit different other than baseball. I mean, you had baseball involved in your summer. That was definitely obvious through your TikTok, but let's get right into your TikTok here, Richie.
All
You
right.
started a TikTok series this summer of doing
Yeah.
trick shots, and you amassed over 156,000 followers just over the summer, and you got over 5 million likes on all your videos from March to now. What was that like? And talk to me a little bit about your summer and where you were this summer and how you were able to pull all that off.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a funny story. So I was just, COVID came, I was real bored. And so I was just going through my videos one day because I was like, I like to watch TikTok, I was just I never
Who
had
doesn't?
I just never had an interest in doing it really. And then next thing you know, like I was like watching a video on my phone, like the one that I had from a previous summer. I was like, like I'm gonna post this. Um, and I started posting like 3 or 4 older videos that I had from previous summers, and they kind of started to just like not blow up, but like just enough to like keep me wanting to post more. And next thing you know, come like June, me and my brother are like, why don't we start like trying to make some actual videos? And one thing led to the next, and we're doing trick shots, hitting balls off like the back of our boat and stuff. It was a lot of fun. And next thing you know, one of our videos got like 6-7 million views. And we had people like Sports Center, House of Highlights, ESPN, all of them like just DMing us saying like, hey, can we post this? It was pretty crazy. And then next thing you know, I'm going through like on Sports Center's page, I'm looking at who liked our video, and like LeBron James liked our video.
No
And
way.
it's pretty cool. Like people are
Yeah.
watching me do this. And we kept at it all summer. And yeah, next thing you know, we had over 155,000 followers.
That's awesome. I mean,
That was crazy.
you didn't even you probably didn't even expect that many likes or that many followers, but what came
No,
out of it, you never know now with phones and technology.
it was just for fun, honestly. It really was. And I didn't expect anything at all. I was like, there's no way like I'm gonna actually end up doing this. And then it was just overnight, honestly, like one video, just like 5-6 million views, and then the rest is history. I mean, we had a couple videos hit almost 20 million views. Got a lot of good messages, a little bit of hate, but comes with TikTok, I guess.
All right, now I'm gonna ask you, Richie, a little bit about your favorite stuff around, Boston and around playing at Suffolk. So first of all, I'm gonna ask you your favorite place to play, whether that be home or on the road. What's been your favorite place to play so far through your career?
Favorite place to play, man. Good question. I would say, you know what? It's got to be my home field now that we got new fence all the way around the field. We used to have to set up our fence by like every game. We'd have to set it up and take it down after every game. So if you asked me that last year, I probably would have said a different field. But this year, it's definitely it's turf, brand new turf. We got the fence around it. So yeah, I'd have to go with our field.
That just goes to show how much Suffolk athletics has come along in the past few years, in the past decade as well. Is just always improving their facilities,
Yeah,
always improving all the way around. And yeah, the facility in East Boston has taken tremendous leaps the last few years.
yeah, it really has. It's they redid a good portion of it. So yeah, it's a really nice field.
Favorite rival to play, favorite team to play.
Oh God.
Be
Had a
brutally
couple,
honest with me.
we have had a couple good rivals. I had a couple teams that we butted heads with. So over the years, St. Joe's for sure. Me and our team, and we had a good rivalry. They beat us once, we beat them once. It's been a good couple of years playing them. They're a good team, very good team.
And I'm sure the bus rides up and back are pretty fun too.
Yeah, well, when you win, they are.
Right.
If you
It's a
lose,
long, quiet ride back if you lose.
yeah, but yeah, they had some good players, and we always battled playing them. So yeah, for sure, St. Joe's.
All right. You already mentioned you live on the blue line, but just give me your favorite MBTA line or favorite place to go in the city using the MBTA.
Yeah, so the blue line I've had. I mean, so I lived in this house a long time. This was my grandmother's house a long, long time ago. So I've been around the city for a while. Um, and the blue line is I've always been here. The blue line is just super easy for me. It's 2-minute walk from my house, and it brings me right where I need to go. Um, and my favorite spot, so honestly, probably the Ridgeway building for me is or I spend like 90% of my time when I'm in the city. I just loved like sitting in there with the team, kind of just talking, messing around, and working out. That place was like the go-to spot to hang out.
Yeah,
Especially
and
with
I mean
trainers.
they just redid a lot of the facilities inside, so you get new meeting rooms, new places to do homework, student lounges, and the weight room too.
Yeah, the weight room's awesome. We would work out there 3, 4, 5 times a week. It's been a great spot. We did conditioning in the basement. That's probably one of my favorite places for sure, just to be around. Even the people, everything's great.
Now, you mentioned you live with 5 teammates, so I'm sure that can be pretty interesting. Give me
Oh,
some of your funniest memories, either in the locker room or at home or on the field with your teammates.
living here with 5 guys there's never a dull moment for sure. It's a decent sized house, but it gets pretty cramped. We've had our fair share of arguments, but in terms of funniest memories, um, I'll give you one. So we were out at a store, and they know us, because it's right down the street, so they know who we are. And I wasn't there, but I was home. And next thing you know, my roommates walk in with like a 4 or 5 foot high palm tree, pretty much. Just walk in the front door. I'm like, wow, like where did you get that? I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, who brings a palm tree into a house? And we just have it sitting here in the living room.
You just
Um,
have a
things
nice
like that,
tropical tree in your living room.
things like that constantly happen. It's never ending. The things we have hanging up, the things we bring into the house. It's
That's
fun.
awesome. Well,
Yeah,
Richie, I look forward to watching you play this spring. Fingers crossed, of course. I look really much forward to, more competition at Suffolk and getting to cover you guys this year. So thank you so much again for coming on the podcast. I appreciate it so much. And good luck this season, man.
thank you. I really appreciate you guys having me. I'll see you around for sure.
Ram Nation, if you liked what you heard today on the Suffolk Sounds podcast, be sure to visit our website, GoSuffolkRams.com. That's GoSuffolkrams.com, where you can find all you need to know about Suffolk athletics. And while you're at it, be sure to follow the Rams on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at the same name for an insider's look. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like, and rate the show, as well as leaving your reviews on whatever platform you're listening to this show on. And feel free to send in your questions. Who would you like to hear from? Whether that be a player or a coach, we'll be sure to bring something new to every show. Next week's episode features co-captains from the Suffolk softball team, Cece Phelan and Haley Cockcroft. Until then, I'm Nick Perenick signing off. See you then, Ram Nation.
This has been Suffolk Sounds. Don't forget to subscribe, like, rate, and review however you listen to your podcast.